Welcome to ETV News at 6 p.m. My name is Precious Chukwuekezie. Follow us on our social media handles on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Enugu Esbs, Instagram, Enugu Esbs, Facebook, Esbs Enugu, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Esbs Enugu 042. Now on the news. Governor Mba cautions NERC against overcharging customers. IG withdraws policemen attached to Yahaya Bello. Oil prices drop below $90 per barrel as Iran denies attacks. Now we'll bring you the news in detail. Enugu State government says it is committed to ensuring that people have access to electricity services in the state, stating that the government is currently studying underserved and unserved communities and will soon constitute the management of the newly established Enugu State Electrification Agency. The state governor, Dr. Peter Mba, gave this indication in Enugu during a customer complaints resolution meeting organized by the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC. Our government house correspondent, Fred Naji, reports that the governor, represented by the secretary to the state government, Professor Chidebe Ronya, said the state was determined to ensure that the model in energy intervention as relates to electricity is replicated across the zone. While commending NERC for organizing the event, the governor charged the regulatory body to endeavor to resolve most of the challenges faced by the customers as complained by them. He emphasized the importance of electricity in growing the state economy from $4.4 to $30 billion as projected by his administration before 2030. Dr. Mba said the government has started engaging with developers and investors who are interested in setting up power generation plants under the will buyer and will seller commercial agreements. The Enugu State Justice Reform Team has commended the administration of Dr. Peter Mba and his unwavering commitment to justice sector delivery. This happened when a delegation of the team led by Iyom A.J. Ofia San visited the Attorney General and the Commissioner for Justice, Dr. Kingsley Ude, at the Ministry of Justice headquarters to discuss proposed amendments to key state laws. These amendments encompass the Criminal Code Law, the Magistrates Court Law, and the Administration of Criminal Justice Law of States. Mrs. A.J. Ofia emphasized the importance of collaboration with the Ministry of Justice to ensure the effective implementation of the administration of criminal justice in the state. Ofia further stressed on the importance of alternative dispute resolution mechanism in resolving various cases, particularly those involving land and chieftaincy matters. Responding, the Honorable Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice acknowledged their efforts and progress in amending the Magistrates Court Law as well as the Administration of Criminal Justice Law. Additionally, Dr. Ode informed them of the Governor's plan to promote awareness of laws among residents through massive public legal education and sensitization initiatives in Enugu State. Stakeholders at a one-day seminar organized by the National Center for the Control of Small Arms and Light Weapons Southeast Zone have identified corruption, arms and drugs as key challenges threatening the nation's peace. They also called for increased intelligence gathering to curb flow of illicit arms in the state. Our correspondent, Precious Chukwuekezie, has more.
Declaring the event open, the GOC Commanding Officer 82 Division, represented by the Garrison Commander, Major General M.M. Abu, emphasized the need for all stakeholders to intensify action in addressing factors militating against the national security and peace of the nation.
We cannot overemphasize the importance of synergy. I can see members of our security agency group in Enugu. We try to meet as much as possible. We'll make sure we work as one. And to see a lot of results, you can see that Enugu is one of the safest states in the southeast.
Also, the representatives of Nigerian Police Force, Nigerian Civil Defense, and Nigerian Air Force noted that the widespread proliferation of small arms is contributing to alarming levels of armed crime and militancy, and called for increase on intelligence gathering, capacity building, and increase in personnel to achieve its mission. In separate lectures delivered by retired Colonel Isiguzo and Benedict Ugwanya, enumerated measures to curbing illicit arms to include legislation, public awareness, international collaboration, and called on government to prioritize economic development and educational security as means of ending the trend. Earlier in a welcome address, the zonal coordinator of the center, retired Major General Ugochukwu Okechukwu, while highlighting the aim of the seminar, said the center has in 2 years of establishment recovered and destroyed over 60,000 illicit and small arms. While commending Enugu State Governor Dr. Peter Mba for his support in the state, he called for concerted effort to achieve their aim.
The menace of the proliferation of illicit arms and live weapons is directly responsible for much of the untold human suffering in our society today. It is important to mention that these weapons on their own do not cause any harm. Rather, it is the easy access to them and the recklessness of their use.
The event also featured interactive session.
Most of these arms are not even manufactured in Africa. I hope you're aware of that. Yet, the illicit arms are run mostly in Africa and the West African sub-region.
Normally, once more sectoral comes into play in wherever I am, I feel that the journalism sector is being referred to because our nature is more sectoral approach to everything.
Chukwuekezie for Esbs News.
The entire disability community in Enugu State have expressed utmost appreciation for Governor Peter Ndubuisimba's vigorous efforts in unifying the state's disability community under a single umbrella body. The appreciation was in a signed statement by the Chairman Joint National Association of Persons with Disability, Enugu State Chapter, Comrade Onyebuchimba, and conveyed during a meeting hosted by the Commissioner for Ministry of Children, Gender Affairs and Social Development, Mrs. Ngozieni. The meeting was to analyze the importance of unifying the state's disability community under an umbrella body alongside other individualized organizations of persons with disabilities, the disability foundations, and NGOs. According to the statement, which discourages the proliferation of Enugu disability community, resonates with the "tomorrow is here" doctrine of the current administration. On our national stories, Kogi State's Commissioner for Information Kingsley Fanwo has said Governor Usman Ododo did not help his predecessor Yahaya Bello beat security operatives who wanted to arrest him. Officials of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) had laid a siege to Bello's Abuja residence where they wanted to arrest him, but Ododo arrived at the scene, and hours after he drove out, there were reports that Bello had sneaked out with him. But speaking in TV program, Fanwo, who also worked under Bello, said Ododo is committed to upholding the laws of the country, including respecting its legal processes. Fanwo rejected the anti-graft agency's claims, describing them as baseless and product of an organized disinformation campaign. He said Governor Ododo remained a law-abiding leader who respects the rule of law and the constitution of the country. Meanwhile, the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Ebetokun, has withdrawn all police officers attached to embattled former Kogi Governor Yahaya Bello. The order for the withdrawal was contained in a police wireless message. The Nigerian Immigration Service has also placed Bello on its watch list after he evaded arrest by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) over alleged 80 billion naira financial crimes. The notice to this effect comes a few hours after the EFCC declared the former governor wanted. Bello is being wanted by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) over alleged corrupt practices while in office as Kogi State Governor. Welcome to ETV News, and you are watching the ETV News at 6. You can follow us on our social media handles on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Enugu Esbs, Instagram Enugu Esbs, on Facebook Esbs Enugu, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Esbs Enugu 042. This news broadcast is coming to you from ETV Channel 50 Enugu. On our business news, are still to come in business. IMF forecast Nigeria's economy drop to 4th largest in Africa. We'll bring you details of this and more shortly. Just stay with us. We're glad to welcome you back to the news. On our business news, Nigeria's economy, which ranked as Africa's largest in 2022, is set to slip to 4th place this year after a series of currency devaluation, International Monetary Fund forecasts show. The IMF's World Economic Outlook, as reported by Bloomberg, estimated the country's gross domestic product at $253 billion based on current prices this year. Behind North African powerhouse Algeria at $267 billion, Egypt at $348 billion, and South Africa at $373 billion. The report added that South Africa will remain the continent's largest economy until Egypt reclaims the mantle in 2027. Nigeria, however, is expected to remain in 4th place for years to come. Oil prices have dropped below $90 per barrel today in the global market as Iran denies suspected missile attacks by Israel, which previously fueled speculation over possible supply disruption and market instability. Contrary to speculation, an Iranian official told newsmen that there was no missile strike carried out against Iran, adding that explosions in the Iranian city of Isfahan were due to the activation of air defense systems of Iran. Earlier, there were reports that oil prices briefly surged and stock markets slid as unconfirmed reports said Israel had carried out retaliatory strikes against Iran, boosting investments deemed safer, such as gold. And elsewhere in the world, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has repeated calls for de-escalation in the Middle East after an apparent Israeli strike on Iran. Speaking from a G7 meeting in Italy, Blinken says Washington was not involved in any offensive operation. Tel Aviv has not officially commented. Iran has been on high alert in the wake of Israel pledging to respond to Iran's unprecedented missile and drone attack on Israel last week. Polls opened for the first and largest phase of India's marathon general election, kicking off a vote in which Prime Minister Narendra Modi is seeking to win a rare 3rd consecutive term. About 969 million people are eligible to vote in the biggest election in human history, with polling taking place in 7 phases over the next 6 weeks in the world's most populous country. Up next is our sports news. Just stay with us. Moving on, the top 3 in last weekend's Beijing half marathon have been stripped of their medals, organizers said, following an investigation into the finish that saw China's He Jie controversially win. He crossed the line first in a bizarre finish after the Kenyans Robert Keta and Willie Mangat and Dejen Hailu from Ethiopia seemed to deliberately allow him to win. The four runners had stuck together throughout the course of just over 13 miles around the streets of the Chinese capital. But he, the 2013 Asian Games marathon gold medalist, won by 1 second after his supposed rivals appeared to slow down towards the finish and waved him out in front. All four were punished and their results cancelled. Now to end the news, here again are the main points. Enugu State government says it is committed to ensuring that people have access to electricity services in the state, stating that the government is currently studying underserved and unserved communities and will soon constitute the management of the newly established Enugu State Electrification Agency. The Inspector General of Police, Olukayode Ebetokun, has withdrawn all police officers attached to the embattled former governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello. And oil prices have dropped below $90 per barrel in the global market as Iran denies suspected missile attacks by Israel, which previously fueled speculation over possible supply disruption and market instability. Remember to follow us on our social media handles on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Enugu Esbs, Instagram Enugu Esbs, on Facebook Esbs Enugu, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Esbs Enugu 042. And that's the news as edited by Chigozie Alex Nwafo. I thank you immensely for watching. My name is Precious Chukwuekezie. Have a good evening.